Well, there's a new season of The Voice just getting underway, and yet again, Fort Wayne has another contestant on The Voice, Christiana Danielle, who is now in the studio with us. All right, so good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
This is unbelievable.
Anything been happening with you lately, Christiana? Anything at all?
Oh, no, not really. No.
Had you had plans to audition for this show a while ago, or was this something more spur of the moment, or how does that work?
Well, I graduated in May, and I decided to take a year off. And I was like, I'm actually going to sing because I don't really do this, And so I was like, I'm going to be, more outgoing with singing. And so I got an email because I made a profile for The Voice a while ago, but I never sent in a video because I was too scared. And they were like, last open call, St. Louis. And it was that weekend in June. And I was like, Dad, how far is St. Louis? And he was like, about 6 hours. Like, never mind. It's, this thing for The Voice, but just forget it. And he called my bluff completely. And he's like, we're going to go. So he went down, and that's when it all started.
Amazing. I loved watching their reaction backstage.
Oh, yeah, the reaction was great.
When you got all those judges to turn around for you, that is just fabulous.
So, yeah.
And so now the journey begins. And I know that, you are bound by certain obligations that you can't talk about certain things. But, okay, so have you had a chance to meet with Alicia? I mean, obviously right after that show, you probably go backstage as a group then and gather up as her team and start talking? Or
what happens next at this point?
Yeah, so what happens next is that we do the battle rounds, and during the battle rounds we get to meet with Alicia, and she pairs us up into partners, and we get our song, and it's really exciting stuff. So yes, I have got a chance to sit down and meet with Alicia.
Amazing.
We're talking to Christiana Danielle from Fort Wayne, who's on The Voice and who's moved on to the battle rounds under Team Alicia. And is that, obviously you had 3 judges to choose from. And is there any particular reason you chose her? Did she just connect with you that instantly like that?
Yes, in that moment, she definitely connected with me. I was absolutely going to go Team Blake if he ever turned around.
Really?
I have this weird, crazy obsession with him. And so so when he did turn around, I didn't know who I was going to pick. And so I was just like, okay, let's just hear what they have to say. And Alicia really, really spoke to me. The one thing that stood out was that she called me a genre-bending artist. And that's what I love to hear because I don't like, to go into one box and you guys will see that. And so I just loved how she goes, I just want to paint with you. I want to, create art. And I was like,
there it is. Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah. How important is song choices going forward here?
Very, very important, especially because I kind of picked a wild card to begin with. So,
but a lot of people loved your rendition of that. I mean, that's all I heard.
Yeah, tell us about iTunes. What happened the next day on iTunes?
Yes, so on iTunes the next day, I moved up to number 8 and then number 7 on the R&B and soul charts, and I was like, what?
What do you think of that, huh?
That was crazy. My friend texted me, Kelsey Johnson, she's on the show, and she was like, look at the iTunes chart. And I had absolutely no idea how to do that. And I was like, where are you finding this? So I was super excited. That was awesome.
So have you been singing for, a long, long time? In elementary school and on, or is this something fairly new for you?
I've been singing at home and at church for a long time, but not ever out in the public or.
So when you were at Snyder, though, were you in musical productions or did you nothing?
No, I had to take an art credit, and so I was like, I'll take choir because I'm not good at art class or anything else, and so I would sing in the jazz choir. But that was still very. Like, if you weren't in the choir, you didn't know that I sang until we had, like, the showcase at the end of the year. And that's when, I could invite my friends. And so they're like, yeah, we'll come to your choir concert. And then I had a solo. And they were like, oh, my gosh, we didn't know that you could sing. And I was like, sorry, it never came up in conversation.
But to have that kind of poise on a national stage, to go from singing with, your groups in school and in college to being on a national stage in front of no less 4 huge, huge artists, to have the poise you had is just amazing.
Oh, thank you. It was the total piece of God because I would have flipped out. I was freaking out up until that day. So,
but once you got on stage, were you surprisingly calm? I mean, did it just start coming out? And
definitely, I was just very peaceful, and I started off with my eyes closed. I don't know if you guys saw that, and then I heard the crowd cheering, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Adam, turn around! Okay, don't mess up. This is going to be on YouTube." That's what I kept telling myself. You can't mess up. You have to hold it together.
And it was on YouTube and more, and it's all on the TV stations and everywhere else. I mean, that you see it around town. We're also proud of you, and we just can't wait to follow your journey now. This is great. Fort Wayne's becoming spoiled with all the great talent.
That's okay. We've had talent in this town. It's about time people start recognizing it, right?
Christiana Danielle, we'll watch for you next on the Battle Rounds on Team Alicia.
Yes.
And come back and see us, okay? Anytime.
Absolutely.
This is your station here. Whatever you need.
Thank you.
Your hometown morning show.
I love listening to him in the morning on my way to work.
And they're the only thing that keeps me sane in the morning.
Jim and Carrie in the morning on Fun 101.7.